Hello to all of you. Happy holidays. You can see in my house out here in the western suburbs of Chicago in Downers Grove, it's going to be the third night of Hanukkah tonight. It is also the third day of Christmas because it's Friday, December 27th. Thank you for joining me. I know there's an angelic light coming from the ceiling that looks like I have a halo around my head, but it's really just the light. It's not a halo. So hope everyone is having wonderful holidays. And I'm doing this video in response to people's request for some new vocal exercises here on YouTube for Sounds Good choir singers to be able to keep your voices up and stay limber during the holiday break, because we've got several weeks now, actually exactly a month before our first spring choirs start on Monday, January 27th. Today's December 27th, so we've got some work to do. And it's always great to keep your voice in shape. I haven't sung since the Christmas Eve liturgy at Holy Nativity, which is where Sandy's a deacon and I've been in the choir for 15 years. So I need to vocalize. Hopefully you do too, and hopefully this is helpful. So I'm just going to be doing things that I do myself all the time, things that I've learned from my voice teacher, Karen Brunson, who's on faculty at Northwestern, and she's just terrific. And I've been studying with her quite a bit this year. And so I'm just teaching you what I've learned from her. So this first vocalize is what we call a fielder's choice. You can do three things, any one of these three things. If you're able, wet your lips. And if you can do a lip trill, that's great. If the lip trill doesn't work for you, you can do what we call a tongue trill. And if neither of those works for you, the letter V is one of your very best friends. So pick one, stick with it the whole time, or if you want to switch it up, just whatever works for you. The important thing is that any one of those stops the sound somewhat, which makes it easier for the voice box to produce sound in a really easy, healthy way when we're first warming up. So I'm going to do the lip trill, do whatever you want. Here we go. Stand nice and tall. Two more. Good. Just take a moment and notice where your breath is going. Notice that when I take a deep breath in, my shoulders don't come up because all the expansion is happening here below my rib cage. Karen often told me maybe 6 months ago in a lesson, she said I need to drop my breath. In other words, I could breathe even lower in my abdomen than I was. So rather than breathing here, or especially not here, you can really have a sense of dropping the breath, breathing all the way down into your hips. Okay, that was great. So now we're going to, everyone, do the letter V. Top teeth on lower lip, letter V. Here we go. Breathe low. Keep the eyes engaged. Good. Three more. Last one. You may have noticed on that last one, it takes a little extra work We have these muscles here that connect the bottom of your rib cage to your pelvis. They're called the rectus abdominis muscles, big sheet of muscles here. We jokingly refer to them as the tucky wuckies. Sometimes it really helps to pull those in, have the sense that you're pulling your navel back in towards your spine, and even below your navel, there's still some part of that muscle that's really helpful to really generate those high notes. Okay, very good. Now to one of my other favorites. So the letter D is really helpful because it also stops the sound the same way the letter V does, but it also, because there's a little more explosiveness to the D, it actually sends some of the air back down into your abdominal cavity and creates sort of a virtuous circle of spin. I don't understand all the science behind it. Karen does, and she can explain it much better than I can. All I know is this works. So here's the vocalese. Digga, 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 dee. So notice the difference between that and digga, 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 dee. The first one, the consonants are more articulate. Digga, 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 dee. So we'll start here and then we'll go down. Here we go. Digga, 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 dee. 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 Now I'm a low bass, so I'm going to keep going. So basses, altos, anyone who wants to keep going, excuse me, surf down with me a little more. Here we go. Digga, 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 dee. Digga, 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 dee. Digga, 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 dee. Two more. Digga, 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 dee. Digga, 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 dee. It's really good if you can keep that last note spinning. So, if, for example, this is an octave above where we just stopped. Digga, 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 dee. You can, the D and the G really help the sound to spin and vibrate naturally at the end, so we don't get stuck. So we're not going digga, 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 dee. We're not pushing or pressing or holding. Digga, 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 dee. Okay, so now we're going to start right there. That's D major, and go up. Here we go. Digga, 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 dee. 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 Two more. Digga, 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 dee. Digga, 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 dee. You can really get the last note spinning. All right, very good. Give yourself a couple shoulder rolls. Work out any kinks, any tension you may have built up, and the other direction. Good. Now we'll do some of the things I learned from Daniel, Segner around our conducting team. Take your fingertips, make a little light rain on your forehead. Waking up some resonant parts of our face, take your fingertips and tap your cheekbones. Good. Now take your thumbs and massage your jaw. Start right below your ears. Work all the way to the point of your chin. Massage out any tension you have in your jaw. Good. All right, now we're going to scrunch up as if you're squeezing on the world's sourest lemon drop, or you're sucking, as he would say, on the world's sourest lemon drop. Squeeze in, teeny face. Good. Now use your hands. Big face. Good. Two more. Teeny face. Big face. One more. Teeny face. Last one. Big face. Good. All right. Very good. Keep those shoulders loose. Very good. Now for the vowel A, the A vowel, because we're going to do day. The place you want your tongue, if this is the tip of your tongue, you want the tip of your tongue resting against your bottom front teeth, right there, like that. And toward the back of your tongue, excuse me, you want that touching your top molars. So this is the perfect position for the tongue to sing day. And you want the air spinning there at the very end. Now I'm going to challenge you a little bit. There are some upper overtones that you can create in your voice on the last note. Day. See if you can give it that really nice sense of spin and resonance. Even if you don't know what an overtone is, just tell your brain to try it and see what you get. Okay. Okay, we're going to start here and go down. Here we go. Day, day, day. That's your tongue. Day, 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 day. Two more. Day. Last one. Day. Nice to keep that air spinning at the very end. Good. Okay, back to D major. And now we're going to go up. So again, check your tongue position. Just like that. So the tip of your tongue resting against your bottom front teeth and the back of your tongue touching your top molars. Here we go. Day, 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 day. Two more. Day, day. Whoops, I popped a little bit at the end. You heard that. I could probably use my tucky wuckies a little more. Let's try that last one. Let's actually go back to here to A major. We'll do 4 more starting there. 1 and breathe, and here we go. Day, 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 day. Okay, very good. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Very good. All right, you all are doing great. This is another one I learned from Karen about a year ago. I think she probably noticed that my breathing was wimpy and needed a little more chutzpah. So what she said to me at the time was more butch, so a little more bravo, a little more bravura, like I was an opera singer. So here's the vocalese, again with your tongue in the same position. Sorry. So you really want to get your tucky wuckies in on this. And before we do this one, check your posture. Make sure your posture is regal, so that your chest is elevated, your sternum is slightly lifted, your shoulders are back. So that's the vocalese. And the cool thing is you can actually breathe in with your tongue already in this position. So you don't have to do anything other than breathe and then start singing. Let me demonstrate. And then when you take your next breath, your tongue's already right there. So we're going to start right here at D major and work our way down. Here we go. More butch. Have fun. One more. Let it spin there at the end. Okay, cool. Back to D major, we'll go up. Here we go. Two more. Okay, you can hear I cracked a little bit. The penultimate one, I didn't give it quite enough air. Okay, you're doing great. So one other thing we can do that I don't do a lot in my vocalises and rehearsals, but Paul Langford does it all the time, is the vocal fry, where you just breathe in. It's like a soft growl, very soft. Try that. Yeah, it's a very healthy thing to do, especially very early in your vocalese. One of the things it does is it brings the vocal folds together along their entire length. Sometimes as our voices age, we don't naturally produce sound that way. So it's a really nice thing to do. And Paul typically puts that together with goo 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 goo. So one of his favorites is goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo, etc. You can do that at your leisure. All right, so here's another one. This is a Christine Warwick from Oak Park has told me for years this is her favorite one of all the ones that we do together. It's 3 vowels. Hey, oh, ah. I actually find that ah is the hardest vowel to sing. It's just a difficult shape. I'm never super thrilled with the sound of my ahs, but we're going to start there and go down. So starting here on D major, here we go. Hey, oh, ah. I apologize. I'm going to put a d in front of it. That same d that you do in digga 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 dee just helps the air spin. So it's going to be day oh ah. Here we go. Day oh ah. 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 2 more. Day oh ah. Day oh ah. Good. Good, good. Now, one thing to think about as we're going up, we're going to do that same one, day oh ah, this time going up. When you sing the duh, imagine that the back of your throat is open. There's part of our throat called the velum. You can look it up on Google or Wikipedia. Just find what the velum looks like. So you can actually widen the velum, have a sense that it widens, and it just gives you more space. Just makes the resonating chamber more resonant, almost like building a little bit of cathedral in your head. So Karen talks a lot about having an acoustic party in your head, and opening the velum is a way to do that. And when you go duh, duh, it kind of opens everything in back. So I'm going to contrast rather than day oh ah, which is okay, but it's a little blah. Day oh ah. That's with the velum wide open, kind of firing on all pistons. Excuse me, I'm getting over some respiratory stuff, but fortunately it's not getting too much in the way of singing. So we're going to do day oh ah, going up. 1 and 2, and here we go. Day oh ah. 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 All right. Very good. Just one more thing for fun, and then we will wrap. Giggity gaggity giggity gaggity goo. So just like the duh, when we do tigga 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 dee, the g helps open up the resonance in the back of the throat and also helps send some of the air down and creates this wonderful virtuous circle of air. So the vocalese is giggity gaggity giggity gaggity goo. And again, see if you can open your velum in back. And see if you can get the last note to spin. Giggity, gaggity, giggity, gaggity, goo. Try that, here we go. Giggity, gaggity, giggity, gaggity, goo. 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 Two more. Giggity, gaggity, giggity, gaggity, goo. Giggity, gaggity, giggity, gaggity, goo. Good. So now we're going to go here and work our way up. Here we go. Giggity, gaggity, giggity, gaggity, goo. 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 Two more. Giggity, gaggity, giggity, gaggity, goo. Giggity, gaggity, giggity, gaggity, goo. Good. And with any of these, obviously, depending on how high or low your voice is, you can continue those higher, you can continue those lower. If there's one of these that you really like, you can back up the video on YouTube. That's one of the wonderful things. You can just use that slider control and do one that you like to your heart's content. So that's a little more than 20 minutes worth of vocalizing, and hopefully not too much talking. And hopefully you can use this during the winter break before we resume again. And these YouTube videos stay up forever, so it might be July of 2027 when you're watching this, and I welcome you to use this to your heart's content. Just one other thing about how much vocalizing to do. Karen Brunson, my voice teacher, says 10 to 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week is great. It just keeps the voice happy, keeps the voice in shape. It's sort of like any friendship that you tend. Your voice will be a better friend to you if you put in the time and the work. And if you're coming to Sounds Good choir rehearsal once a week, this is a wonderful thing to do in the days when you're not in choir with me or any of our other conductors, so that you can do work at home, and then when you get to rehearsal, whenever that is, your voice is like, yeah, I got this. I know how to do this. I've been doing this at home. So anyway, wish you all a wonderful, happy new year, a joyous 2025. It's wonderful having you in our singing family, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.